Again, my name is Karina Saltman. I'm the executive director of Summer Search in New York City. And on June 5th, Charlie Kim called me and asked if I would like to move all 14 members of the Summer Search New York City staff into the 10,000 square feet of office space that he wasn't using for the price of $1 a year. And then I woke up. But actually, it was not a dream, and this is our team on move-in day. We moved in 21 days later. And I know you're all wondering, how did this happen, and are there more Charlie Kims in your sites? So the first part I can answer. NextJump has a Boston office that is run by a gentleman named Greg Kunkel, who's right over there. And Greg is married to a woman named Jill Kantrowitz Kunkel, who has been working at Summer Search for about 9 years. Where's Jill? There you are. So Jill and Greg finally convinced Charlie to come to our gala in March, and he sat next to the woman who was speaking that evening. And in May, he invited us into their New York City office, and we were blown away by the culture that they had created at NextJump. There was a huge focus on investment in staff with particular fitness and nutrition programs, fully stocked healthy snacks and drinks in their fridges, a gym on site. There were CEO talks that they curate so that staff can learn from experts in different fields. There's a huge focus on giving back as their engineers do a variety of Code for a Cause campaigns. And their motto is to do the little things that allow others to do the great things they are meant to do. And they live this in all that they do every single day. Charlie's bold vision to partner with Summer Search in such a major way speaks to his huge heart and his innovative mind. And he's made us all think about the question, what if every successful company adopted a high-quality nonprofit? Over the 5 years, we would save over $1 million in rent because of this move into NextJump. So I don't know if there are more Charlie Kims in your sites, but I know our world would be a lot better if there were. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Charlie, my mentor and friend.
Thank you. I think this is the, perfect. So before I begin, actually, and I want to humbly disagree. I think Dan, the gentleman that was here, I don't see him right now, or is he around somewhere? But I want to humbly disagree with something he threw out, which was, how do you reduce the 5,000 per student lower? Make it 2,500, make it 1,000. I would pose the opposite. How do you invest 10,000 per student? And then what can you get back in return? Less is more. I believe Summer Search is about leadership. And when you think about how leadership changed the world, you think of Gandhi, you think of Mandela. What would it take to create one more Gandhi, one more Mandela? And the challenge I would pose is to think of this the other way when you innovate, which is spend more. Spend more per student. And when you do, what can you get back in return? So that's not what I'm here to talk about, but I want to talk about so I'm going to talk about something totally different, which is why we don't give, and really put a business mindset into this. But before I go into it really quick, every one of us wants to be happy. Happiness is something that we all strive to be. A lot of research has been done on how to become a happy individual. People talk about money. Does money make you happy? Better relationships, pills, all kinds of drugs to make you happier. But all the studies always came down to one simple thing that makes people happy. And in fact, this is so simple, the researchers couldn't believe this is true, which is simply at the end of every day, if you write down 3 things you're grateful for every single day, whether you write it down or you share it with someone, 3 things every single day you write it down, you will become happier. In fact, the research is so profound that they threw it out, looked at it again, and came back to the same place. And the insight that came out of that was very simple. It's not having a gratitude list. A lot of people say have a list. It's not the list. It's the homework of every single day having 3 things you have to write down or tell someone that makes you all day long look for things to be grateful for. Knowing you have homework at the end of the day, you will look for 3 things to fill that list, and the act of searching for things you're grateful for makes you happy. And that eventually becomes part of who you are. Giving is very similar. So I'm going to start off by telling you a story of my mother. This is my mother, and I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and being the oldest of 3, you get to a point in your life where you finally feel like you've outsmarted your parents, especially your mom, right? And you want to give her advice. So in my what I thought was a bright attempt, which turned out to be a failed attempt to give my mom advice, we had an argument about church tithes, giving to church. Why would you give 10% every month when it's so much more efficient to write one check at the end of the year? Makes total sense. Why every single time I get paid, I've got to take out 10% and donate to church, stamps and administration and whatnot. End of the year, I'll write one check, so much more efficient. And in mom's wisdom, because you won't. You won't give it when it comes end of the year. You will analyze, and you will think about other things you can do with the money, better ways to spend the money, better ways to give the money, and you will not give it. And then she said something pretty profound as well, which was, it doesn't belong to you. 10% of your income doesn't belong to you. It belongs to others who need it more than you. So get into the habit, get into the practice. Before that money hits your bank account, give it away. And that's what Tides represents. It becomes eventually part of who you are. So the objective of the short talk I have, which I think I'm already over time, but is to help you understand with a business mind, personally and as a business, why giving is not a nice to do, but it's something that you have to do. It's a must do, and I'll explain to you why on the business front as well as the personal front it matters. So really quick, this is the only slide about NextJump. I started the company almost 20 years ago, coming out of my college dorm room. It's a business that grew, and our main product is a product called CorporatePerks.com. It's a technology platform we've installed in 90,000 companies, 70% of the Fortune 1000. And what started literally as an employee discount program, so coupons and points and discounts from 30,000 merchants is what we started with, and it expanded over time. The platform was there. We have the engineering force, so now we offer things like fitness programs, wellness programs, nutrition programs, incentives, rewards. We're going into corporate travel, corporate gifting, how to help companies be green, and even touching charity within 90,000 different companies, most of the Fortune 1000. And the way we make money is that we have an e-commerce platform where anytime an employee shops at any of these 30,000 merchants, we get a commission cut, and that's our business. So going to the personal side of why we don't give. We don't give because having more money than others makes us happy. A lot of studies have been done about money and happiness, and what they found was more money doesn't make you happy. Having more money than somebody you know is what makes you happy. Millionaires, billionaires, a number of people I have met who believe they don't have enough because they know someone who has more. And this pursuit of more and more becomes a race that is a never-ending cup of emptiness. This is why we don't give on a personal level. Yet when you get to the end of your life, you look at tombstones. Go to any graveyard and look at any tombstone. No tombstone looks like this. Your name, with how much money you made, how many houses, how many pairs of shoes, handbags, cars, this is not why we live our lives. In fact, the tombstones all talk about how much you have made an impact in the lives of others. There's a quote, I can't remember who said this, when you reach the end of your life, the only thing you can take away is what you've given away. This is true wealth. It's intrinsic in nature, it's not extrinsic in nature. And as an individual, this is what's most important to all of us. So on the business front, when you think about the business reason of why we don't give, well, the economy in the world has changed a lot. First, there was the agricultural economy. And in that economy, the most important thing was land. Nothing else mattered as much as land. You can get rid of people, find new people. You can get rid of plows and equipment. But land was the most valuable. Whoever had the best land won. Well, the world changed. It became the manufacturing economy. Machines were the most important. In fact, everything you needed to do was invest in maintaining those machines. People don't work out, you'll find more people. Machines was the value of everything. Yet most companies today still operate in the manufacturing economy, where the most valuable asset to most companies is their products, the product metrics. They talk about everything to do with their products. Yet you ask any CEO today, for-profit, non-profit, government, what is the number one asset in your company? What is the number one asset that you will do anything for? It always comes down to talent. It is a talent war today in whatever the industry is. And human capital is the most precious asset. And just like whatever you maintain and oil the machines, you get the best output, whatever you can do to maintain and oil human capital is what you're going to get. So we spent a lot of time and had experts from every field come together. And we started by looking at this Maslow hierarchy pyramid from 1943. 1943, it's outdated in our view. And so we spent time updating and creating a simple version. I would just say, if you wanted to get peak human performance, the most out of people, what is it today that would work? So the bottom of the pyramid was security. We do not operate well when we don't feel safe. So security is first, then comes your health, because no matter what you do, if you are unhealthy and you're dying, you're not going to operate well. But then the upper half is very important, growth. Growth is very addictive. We all are addicted to growth. If we're not growing, we are dying. But then purpose is what gives us fulfillment, that feeling of my life matters. When you have these 4 things, you get optimal human performance. So when you take a look at where are the shortcomings, where it goes wrong, in the field of sports, great sports athletes tend to have security because they make a lot of money, they have their health because they're always exercising, and they're growing and improving, but they lose their way when they don't have purpose. When it's all about winning and winning the game, they lose their way, and before you know it, they always burn out. When it comes to for-profit companies, in order to make money, we give up everything else. We sit sedentary on our desks, we give up time with our families, we give up everything just to actually make more money. In nonprofits, you get the total opposite. You have a lot of purpose, but you lack the bottom. So at NextJump, we went through and we actually put a lot of initiatives and effort over time into all of these. And I'll talk about better me and better you, which is a phrase we use to talk about growth as well as purpose. So the phrase that Karina mentioned, and culture and our investment in culture, to do the little things that allow others to do the great things they're meant to do. Why is it little? Because when you're growing and your cup is overflowing, it is little to you. And then others is the better you. You help others and it makes a better us. Us not as a company, but us as a world. And so the entire effort of doing this in culture, it's creating a culture, a group of people where giving is who you are. So examples of this, and I'll fly through this. I think I'm being waived very little time. Fitness. We have gyms in every office. Everyone's working out. We give nutrition. We give free breakfasts that are healthy. You get free lunch only if you work out during a workout class. We have free healthy dinners. We have CEO talks, and this is amazing. Amazing people coming and speaking for 1 hour about their life journey. And when they do it the right way, and the right way being a vulnerable way of how difficult it was to succeed in their life and all the challenges they had, people walk away saying, that's real. These people are so real, and that's inspiring to me. Real and authentic is inspiring. We have everything from doing laundry to reflections. I mean, so many different initiatives to help people perform better as a better me. But then we look at better you, and the things we've done. Code for a Cause is an initiative, which parts of the slide are missing, but we give every engineer 2 weeks a year in teams of 3 to code for a charitable cause of choice. Tremendous work they've done there. Vendor Appreciation Day, when the 2008 financial crash happened, we found that not only did the financial firm suffer, but all the people who were cleaning staff, male people, suffered, couldn't buy Christmas gifts. So our office assistant came and said, you know what, I made a list of all the kids and all the people for our vendors and their ages. Can we buy them a Christmas gift? Here's the #1 Christmas gift for that age bracket. It would cost us $4,500. Wrote the check, and we've done it ever since. When we built a public site, oo.com, it's our commerce platform for charities. We funded last year over $2 million in cash that we gave away to 4 charities. The biggest one was Donors Choose. We were their top 10 corporate donor last year. And we were amongst a room of Googles and Price Waterhouse and Chases and like, who's NextJump? We're sitting in the room. We funded over 3,000 school projects that Donors Choose. And we get tons of pictures, you can imagine, thousands like this. Forgotten ones. When Hurricane Sandy hit New York City, our office actually got closed down. We were right at the cusp. But after we got Hurricane Sandy, we realized there's an entire forgotten population, people who could not get to work. Cab drivers, nannies, delivery people. We created a fund, 10% of every employee's paycheck, and created envelopes of $400 in cash, which is all they earn in a week, and everyone handed out to somebody they knew, somebody they just found in the streets, and made a huge difference, letters pouring in. Summer Search, I think the comment Karina had made. Will Murray wrote a blog post about this. What if every for-profit business adopted a worthy nonprofit? To share office space, share business prowess, help mentor employees, share resources. Imagine having thousands of businesses magnifying the impact of smart charities. Now that would be a revolution. So if you still aren't convinced to give, Stephen Covey wrote in 1992, the possible performance gain of a business is 500% of having a workforce that loves coming to work, who are growing and who feel fulfilled. Well, we found this happen for our company. And in fact, financial results showed up last. The first thing that happened for us is we became the top recruit of talent. Before you know it, turnover shot up because we have good talent. Everyone poached our staff. We kept investing in culture, and our turnover for the last 2 years has been between 1% to 2%, even though people keep trying to poach. The last thing that showed up was revenue. And revenue for the last year and a half has been hitting new inflection points every 90 days. A company with a balanced mission does better on both sides. Jim Lear, Human Performance Institute, amazing guy. Taking care of your people is taking care of business. John Wooden, the most winningest coach out there, make better people and win some games too. And that's what you should focus on as business. So the key takeaways, the last slide I have, that I ask every one of you here, especially the board members, who are all leaders in some way or influence leaders, I believe you're not doing enough. And it's not about money. Someone told me once the lowest form of giving is twofold. Physical labor if you have no money, money if you have money. It's the two lowest forms of giving. There's a lot of other things you can do. Right in this, if you want optimal performance out of all the do-gooders working in charities, you have to fill in these boxes for them. Help them feel more secure, help them get healthier, help them grow. And I know you're sitting here thinking, you know what, that's all great, but I can't because of bureaucracy, because of this and that. I'm telling you, it's just bullshit. Stop making excuses and do something small. If you want something small, the CEO Talk series we give is amazing. If you want to commit really, really small, commit to 4 hours a year, once per quarter. You plus 3 people you know to come to talk to Summer Search staff, some other nonprofit, and inspire the heck out of them. Help them learn from your lessons learned. If you want to go a little more bold to what we do, go 12 a year. That's 12 hours in a year. That's you plus 11 people you know. Start small, but you got to do more. I'll leave you with a final quote from my mom, which was, to change this phrase, when I have enough for myself, then I will give to others, to I have so much more than most people, my cup overfloweth unto others less fortunate. So, thank you. Sorry, I'm over.
I just want to say, Charlie is also here after his daughter was born 2 weeks ago, and Summer Search was so important to him to share why he has adopted us into his business that he was willing to come. And I guess the real thank you is to Ella, your wife, for letting you come, but thank you to both of them. So many people have asked me, why would they do this? Why would they do this? And I think now you know from this presentation, it wasn't about a year-long strategy about how they would partner with nonprofits. It's about who they are and who Charlie is, and we're so lucky to benefit from that. So thank you.